Welcome to Dark Truths, Religion Uncovered, where we explore the deep rift between contemporary moral certainty and age-old sanctity. Tonight, we're tackling a challenging idea: the modern tendency to believe God is on our side, fully aligned with our personal values and social movements. This stands in stark contrast to ancient theology, which presents God as sovereign and completely separate from any human faction. Let's shine a light on this pervasive sentiment. In today's religious discourse, it's common to see God portrayed as a supporter of our specific moral compass. If we see our views as good, then God must agree with us and champion our cause. Faith becomes a mirror reflecting our own moral constructs. We think, if I'm virtuous, God must think so too, and if people oppose me, they must be on the wrong side of God. But ancient theology shatters this comfortable view. Think about the story of Joshua before the Battle of Jericho. He stands before a divine general and asks the crucial question: "Are you for us or for our enemies?" The answer he got was startling. It's not an endorsement of Israel, but a firm neither. God doesn't conform to our human ideas of allegiance. Instead, he embodies an ultimate standard that defines reality itself, a transcendent holiness that is far beyond our limited morality. In the sacred texts, holiness isn't just about being morally good. It represents a radical otherness. God isn't here to be an advocate for human righteousness. He's here to reveal just how fragile and temporary our moral claims really are. In our modern world, this can feel threatening. Moral absolutes give us comfort and stability in a chaotic world. They create a clear line between good and evil, righteous people and corrupt ones, with God as the divine endorser of our side. But the wisdom of ancient theology warns us about this. The moment we enlist God as a partisan, we risk turning holiness into mere ideology. History is filled with examples of God dismantling the claims of those who thought they had divine backing. Israel was so confident in being the chosen nation, faced prophetic condemnation for their moral failures. The religious elite, sure of their spiritual authority, received the sharpest rebukes from Jesus. Even the Apostle Paul, who believed he was morally spotless, had his world turned upside down by a blinding divine encounter. Holiness challenges our moral confidence. It demands humility in the presence of something infinitely greater than ourselves. In ancient belief systems, holiness was seen as a powerful, even a dangerous force. When Moses encounters the divine at the burning bush, he was told, "Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals." This command signifies that holiness strips away all our pretense and exposes our deepest motivations. Unfortunately, contemporary religion often waters down this concept of holiness into something more palatable. God is frequently positioned as a neutral referee in social debates, rather than the consuming fire described in Scripture. With growing confidence, people declare what God supports, what he dislikes, and what he definitely endorses. Ancient prophets, by contrast, approach God with fear and trembling, knowing the danger of misrepresenting the divine. Their warnings came from a place of deep caution, aware that aligning God with human factions was a grave error. Today, that humility has been flipped on its head. God is forcefully recruited to validate our causes, and Scripture says cherry-picked to fit our narratives. This dangerous path leads to moral inflation, where everyone believes in their own inherent righteousness because they assume God is always on their side. But ancient theology teaches a vital lesson. True righteousness isn't something we possess. It's a quality that is given, and sometimes it's fleeting. Throughout history, even the most revered figures like David and Solomon had their own moral collapses. The chosen people of Israel repeatedly faced divine judgment. God doesn't engage with moral factions, he challenges them. Holiness serves to dissolve our self-assured identities, not to affirm them. This fundamental conflict explains why so many believers today feel a sense of moral fatigue. When God is molded into a partisan figure, faith can become brittle and fragmented. On the other hand, recognizing that God does not take sides forces us to engage with our faith with more authenticity and integrity. Our ancestors understood that divine justice has a way of offending every side equally. God's mercy makes the self-righteous uncomfortable, and his judgment humbles the overconfident. In the face of divine holiness, no one comes out completely clean. And that brings us to tonight's formidable truth. God isn't here to validate our moral superiority. He invites us into a revelation of just how incomplete our own ideas of righteousness really are. The ancient world poses a vital and unsettling question to us today. Are we genuinely seeking holiness, or are we just looking for a divine stamp of approval for our own agendas? Thank you for joining Dark Truths, Religion Uncovered. Share your thoughts in the comments. Does your faith demand unwavering moral certainty, or the courage to stand before a God who transcends all sides? Follow for more deep dives into the heart of belief.